Hello, good morning and good evening and good afternoon. Whatever time it is you're watching this, I hope you're doing okay. I want to give y'all a quick update. Not exactly an update, more like a story actually. I need to actually have that down and concise before I actually start pressing the record button. But, story for you. For those of you that know me very, very well, like my family and very close friends, people who've known me for many, many years, you know that I've had a dream to come to Japan. And of course, I am here, I'm in Japan, I'm a teacher, so on and so forth. I've achieved my dream, for the most part. And when I had that dream, it was a culmination of all things of like fairy tale stories, things that actually made me really excited to come to Japan. Like I'd be the only foreigner here. I would have the entire town be my friend. I'd be able to speak Japanese. I'd be able to go where I want. And it just like, it was just like a dream state or a dream wish, a dream of a dream. And unfortunately, I found out that life is not like movies and TV shows and books and stories and dreams. It's not. I ended up coming to Japan and I am one of the only foreigners of the area, but I'm definitely not alone and people don't care about me. No one really cares to say good morning or anything of that nature. I mean, there are some kind people in the area, but I'm not a celebrity superstar like I was led to believe and how I dreamed. You know, you gotta live with that. So the reason why I'm telling you this is because the other day I went to a event, if you will, and this event was with the Wakayama Jet Association. So it was all of the jet programs, so this Japanese exchange and teaching program people who were in the area of Wakayama. Now it's not all of them, but it was a decent amount of them. And now I'm not a jet. No, I'm with Interact. But I'm a fellow ALT. I'm a fellow FLT. You know, being that foreign language teacher, the assistant language teacher, it's good to have communication and connections to people that are, you know, of your language speaking. And it was very fun. It was a very enjoyable time. We had questions. It was a quiz thing. We had good food. It was like a Hawaiian restaurant, but whatever. That's not the point. The point of the matter is I made connections. I got to meet people. And after everything was said and done at the restaurant, we went bowling again, which is very fun. I still suck at bowling. I'm better than most, but I'm still not the best at anything. But no, it was a fun night. And then after everything was going down and coming to a close, we were all heading to cars and heading to train stations, that kind of stuff, trying to figure out who was going to take who where, who was going to get home, how people were going to get home. And it was like maybe 8 o'clock at night, 8:30, not very late at all, but people need to make sure they get to the places for the train systems because we're out in the boonies and it's not exactly the most reliable train system that foreigners can count on, because most of the time, such as myself, I don't have 3G networks or 4G networks or a Wi-Fi connection when I'm out and about, so I can't check when times are for trains to be leaving. So there could be times where I'll just be left at the train station and have to stay inside of a hotel or take a taxi or just sleep in front of the station, which is probably going to be the most likely. But someone said, oh, yeah, why don't y'all come out to Ryujin? And Ryujin is a place that's located, quote unquote, in Tanabe, but it's much farther out in the woods and over hill and over dale kind of thing. It's out there. It's about a 45-minute drive by car. And I was like, sure, I'll go to a party. I'll sit down with everybody, talking to everybody, see how things go. And, you know, I would like to get more connections and get to know more people. And he was like, really? I was joking, but okay. And then like 3 or 4 other people said, yeah, sure, we'll come out there. It'll be a good time. So I ended up riding in one car with a gentleman named Wood. Now he's about a year or so younger than I am, but he's a really nice guy. He's also been here 2 years, 3 years now, something like that. But Wood is a great person. I like him a lot. He is a very kind fellow. We're both on the same wavelength about a lot of things with life and with, you know, issues of living in Japan as a foreigner and things of that nature. I mean, just everything in general. He's a very, very good person to talk to. It reminds me of some of my really close friends back home. So I went out to Ryujin with him, and Ryujin is my dream town. It's got a population of like maybe 300 people. There's only one ALT and that's him, and everyone knows him. He's got 2 or 3 different schools he goes to in the general area. but that's it. And then sometimes he'll have to go back to the local Tanabe area and go into the business office or whatever for the BOE. But he's got my dream. He has his own small like house. It's not an apartment. It's like a standalone cabin. It's like a 4-room cabin with, it's just a nice little area. Now, of course, it's older and it needs a bit of work, but it's one of those where I love the rustic tone of it and the location it is with the way the mountains are. It's just absolutely gorgeous. But, well, not but, and is what I should be saying here. He just has it. He just has it made out there. It's so awesome for him. Everything he told me about how long he's been out there, the people he's met, the things that he's done, the connections he's made, it's fantastic. And so what we did was that we went over to his apartment, house, cabin thing, and, we got ourselves, cleaned up a little bit, and then we went out to what he called a snack. I think I've talked about it before, but it's a snack bar, where it's more like you walk into someone's lower level of their home, which they've renovated into a bar-type area, where people sit down and smoke and drink and just talk and chat. It's not like a full-on bar, but it's pretty well set up for karaoke, singing, and games and things of that nature. So we went in, and of course, I don't think that we ever discovered the barman's name, but we just called him Master. That's something very common in little snacks. So we just called him Master. Very nice gentleman. Spoke very little to no English. The very nice guy. Really helped out with a lot of things where he was, when he would like try to explain things, he would write down the kanji or the katakana or the hiragana and explain what this was or that was. I understood a little bit, but there was a lot that went over my head. But he was very kind at explaining things, like how different word, the exact same word or exact same way that you say a word means two different things, so on and so forth. But this bar in particular, this snack, was fantastic because we walked in there. We were the only two there for like the first 5 minutes talking to him. And then this couple and their friend came in, and the couple ate, drank, talked with us, laughed with us. It was fantastic. So did the other guy. He was hysterical, running around all over the place, getting drunker as the night went on. And it just kept going and going and going and going. And I don't know, it was just funny to me on how well everything was set up. But the point of the story is that Wood is living my dream, and Wood has given me a new sort of like lease on issues, on life, of being a part of the system, and I love it. It's fantastic because we went into the snack bar, and it's like before we even got into the snack bar, he opened up the door, and I'm still blown away by what happened. I don't even remember what he said, but he just kind of like, he opened up the door, and the owner and his wife were like asleep on the couch. And they were like just not doing anything. One was smoking, one was sleeping or reading, and all of a sudden, he's just like, oh, can we come in? Is it open? And of course, he was saying all this in Japanese, and he's just popping it out there. His Japanese is perfectly fluent. It's just wonderful in how he's able to get his point across and talk to them. And they were talking back at him and just having a good time, both the master and his wife. And then his, the other customers that came in, and it was fantastic to see that. And I'm sitting there like starstruck. I'm just absolutely staring at Wood while he's just rattling off and having a conversation and laughing at jokes and making jokes, and he's just cracking everybody up, and it's just everyone's having a good time, and he's like the freaking just center of attention, center of the party, even though there's only like 5 of us in the entire bar. And it's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic to see that, because that's the kind of thing that I wanted. And unfortunately, in the area that I'm in, there's not really, I'm sure there are somewhere, but I haven't been able to find them. And I'm also extremely nervous to be able to go out into those types of areas, to be able to be in that position and talk to people. So finding those snacks and that kind of stuff, and also not having enough money to participate in the snacks, is a detriment. But it was just so amazing to see my dream realized, even if it was through someone else. Wood was fantastic. Talking to them, yelling with them, screaming with them, laughing with them. Watching him was almost as if I was watching just a performance on stage. Everything was perfect. Everything went off without a hitch. It was just fantastic. And he's living the life that I want, or wanted, I should say. He's living the dream that I wanted, And it's just everything about him, the way that he holds himself, the way that he talks. And it was kind of funny because there's just some of those moments where he was bullshitting everything, where he was saying words in Japanese and he was talking to people and he was understanding a little bit, but I look at him and go like, do you know what did he just say? He's like, I have no idea. But he said something in return, which apparently got a good laugh. So apparently rule number 4 in the Japanese language when you're learning as a foreigner, if you don't understand it, bullshit your way through it, apparently. But yeah, it was just absolutely fascinating to see Wood in such, I don't know the proper word to say, just in proper fashion. I mean, just to see him in absolute standing with the community, talking to people, laughing with the people, going back and forth with them, talking about their kids, I mean, what little bit he could, with me around and with the other people. But I mean, it was just fantastic. It was absolutely wonderful to see that. And I don't know if Wood will ever see this, but Wood, if you ever do see this, like I said in the bar, it's just thank you. Thank you for doing everything that you did there. Thank you for being you. Thank you for reinvigorating my sort of drive to be able to have that life again. And I think it's going to take a while, but I'm going to work on going out more and actually meeting more people. I'm going to put myself out into places that are a bit out of my comfort zone, but I'm hoping that if I can actually find the right places and find the right people, I can actually, you know, sort of enjoy it, get into it more, become more fluent in the language and fluent in the culture and fluent with my neighbors, you know, just being more at ease around people, which is something I don't have a lot of practice with. Yes, I'm 27 years old, but with the lifestyle choices that I had when I was younger, both on my account and my family's account, I have a lot of work. I really do. And just seeing Wood sort of like cemented that in my mind to make sure that I understand that there is a whole lot that I don't understand and a whole lot that I can work on. Which I'm going to work on, to be very blunt, to put it very simply. So it was fantastic. It was wonderful. I thoroughly enjoyed that night. Laughed and laughed and laughed until the dawn broke, kind of thing. And it was just great. It was wonderful. It was absolutely fantastic. And if I can ever make my way out there again, I would love to be able to go back to that same snack bar. I don't know if I would have the same fluency and the same kind of fun, but being in that place, in Ryujin, in that bar in particular, or in that community, I think that I could do okay. So I'm hoping that I can find that here. If I can actually talk to the right people, meet the right people, set up the right dates, or set up the right events. So gonna work on that. I'm gonna hopefully succeed on that, because I don't want this to be a stagnant adventure where the only thing I do is hide inside my apartment and do nothing, or hide in the local general area and still do nothing. You know, walking around and sightseeing is fine, but there's so much more to this place, to my life. So I'm gonna go out and find it. I'm gonna do that eventually. It's gonna take some time, but I'm doing good. I'm doing okay. I'm reinvigorating myself. It just takes a little bit of that sort of like introspection. So yes, thank you very much for watching, guys. Like, favorite, subscribe, send out, share as much as possible. I would like to have other people enjoy this stuff also. My life can be your life vicariously through YouTube or Facebook, whichever one you find this on. So take care, and thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you again from Japan. Bye.